I want to talk about Job 26 and 27. I wrote down some notes here on my computer. This is what I do. I like to either write it in my journal, or I've been lately writing it on computer, because if I put it on computer, it's easier for me to copy and paste into something if I want to eventually do a sermon or a video or some kind of writing on it. When I was reading Job, when we got to chapter 26 and 27, I thought this marked a massive turning point in the whole dialogue. This is where Job breaks away from this accuser defense narrative, and he now widens out the frame. And first he goes vertical, like God's cosmic dominion. Then he goes moral, on the destiny of the wicked and the evil. So at the beginning of 26, there's like this irony, right? He's exposing all the emptiness of Bildad's lecture that he gave him. And the problem is not that Bildad is speaking falsely. It's that he speaks trivially and loosely about matters that are too great for humans to grasp. And then from verse 5 on in 26, Job launches into this I think breathtaking reflection and meditation on God's rule over creation. Verse 5 and 6, I should get my Bible out, but verse 5 and 6, he extends God's authority into the dead and the hidden. So God exists outside of his sustaining presence. Like, that's incredible. Verses 7 to 10, he describes the ordering of everything, the cosmos. The earth is suspended over nothing. Waters abound in the clouds. The horizon is fixed by divine decree from God. This is as much science as it is theology, which I think is so cool. Like, if you look at what physical science says about those things, like, it lines up with Scripture. And so it's not just scientific claims as much as that's true. It's creation is being held together because God wills it. Period. Nothing else. Then of verses 11 to 13, he moves from order to power, to God's authority. Mountains tremble. The sea is subdued. Rahab, which is the symbol of chaos, is shattered. God reigns over all these forces that we as human beings can't tame. We can't even comprehend it. Not only can we not tame it, which is logical, we can't even fully comprehend it. And that ought to give us a lot of pause. And then in verse 14, the whole thing comes to a climax. I wrote this down. Behold, these are but the outskirts of his ways, and how small a whisper do we hear of him. Behold, these are but the outskirts of his ways. He lays out this super deep analysis of the power, the divinity, the creation of God, how he holds it all together. And he says, but this is just the bare minimum, the outskirts of it all, and how small of a whisper we actually even hear from him, from God. Dude, the vastness of that is mind-blowing. All of human theology, what we can grasp of God, as true as it might be, is but a fragment of really who he is. What God reveals of himself to us is not exhaustive. There's so much more to him. But he gives us sufficient revelation so that we can trust him and be in awe of him. Man, read Job 26 now.